right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Hidden Gems. This is the video series where I talk about those books that are still probably tucked away in those boxes at your LCS. These are those undervalued, underappreciated, forgotten about, sometimes underpriced type of books that you can go and hopefully still scoop out of those back issue bins for for a little bit less. These aren't the hot books of the week. These aren't things that are going to be on the hot 10 list, top 10 list, or anything like that. Like I said, these are the more interesting books that I think they're still just hidden away out there, just waiting for you to go and dig them out and find them. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see what books I have for you, all you got to do is wait for a few seconds after my intro, and I will be right back. All right, so happy 4th of July, everyone. It's coming up tomorrow, and I have a little bit of a theme for this week for Hidden Gems, and I'm going to be doing Captain America. Yes, AOA, your favorite Captain America is going to be the topic, because 4th of July made me think Cap, right? I don't know if I'm not the only one who thinks that, but we're going to start off with some variants. Captain America variants, what can we cover here? Going to try to keep it so they're not too high ratio incentives. Again, these are hidden gems. These are going to be lower ratio incentives, things you can probably find. Again, not on the wall. Shouldn't be over, shouldn't be marked up too high. Hopefully things you can still score out of those back issue boxes. The first one isn't even an incentive. The first one is actually a movie variant. Could be tough. A lot of people like these books to get them signed at conventions. Not that I think Chris Evans does a lot of conventions, but this is a popular one already in and of itself. So this is Captain America 1 variant edition. This is the movie, as you can see, movie photo edition from First Avenger. And this book already does all right. It does all right. So if you didn't already know, this is one that could sell pretty well. Granted, a copy sold on a best offer at $250. They got $200 for it. That's a lot. Other than that, I saw a copy sell for $40 and another copy sell for over $200. I don't know why the prices are so inconsistent here. Maybe that $40 one was just somebody lucked into that, got that cheap online, because that's what I got for you for the last 3 months. I didn't see any damages. It doesn't seem like that's like a, torn cover or anything like that, and that's why it was so cheap. It's just what it sold for. As far as asking prices go, they're a little more reasonable. Once again, those $200 sales give me pause. I'm like, what? Granted, they happened a little bit, just June. So within the last couple of weeks. But there are copies available, 75, 100, and yes, there was a $200 copy out there again. Regardless, I'm not saying pay any of these prices. I'm just saying be mindful. If you see the movie edition here with the photo of Chris Evans as Captain America and the price ain't too bad, maybe grab it, because the price can be very, very high. That's all. A more reasonable incentive that you might be able to still score out of a box is a 1 in 15. It's not too high. A lot of shops will order 15 copies of a Captain America book. It's not an impossible task. This is a Mr. Garson cover. I like the, it's not montage. What's the, where they put all the mosaic, I guess, covers that he does. Really cool stuff. I covered him on a little short artist retrospective once before where he does these mosaics. A lot of really cool covers he's done for Marvel doing this style, as well as other things that aren't covers, but just pieces of art. This Cap cover is pretty interesting. This is Captain America number 19, and this one, it does okay for what it is. So 1 in 15, 9/8 sold back in April for $150. It's not too bad. Asking prices, well, there's a 9/8 listed for $850, and there's a 9/8 SS signed by like 4 people. It's got like Stanley Tucci and Chris Evans. So it's not apples to apples. So that $5,000 price tag is more about the signatures than it is about the book. Maybe a combination of both, but this is what we're talking about. Like, look at these asking prices. There's just not that many out there right now, but I've seen this one before. These are out there. Just don't, and you can see the difference in price there. Actual paid $150 and ask $850. I don't know what's causing that much of an increase, but there it is. So keep an eye on it. Check your boxes. Maybe you can find it. I think it's probably closer to the actual sale price than the ask, but you never know. You never know, especially if you find one out there for a good price at your shop. You might be able to score yourself a few bucks. couple of more kind of on the lower end sort of ratio. These things you can just kind of stumble into. You might even find some of these for cheap online. Case in point, here's a 1 in 20. Yes, it's Captain America, but it's a many armors of Iron Man cover, because you know how Marvel does their crazy themes and they just force feed these topics onto other titles. So this is more Iron Man focused here. I mean, you got Thor as well, so you got the Trinity of the Avengers, because Cap's still down there. But on Captain America #6, this is a 1 in 20 incentive. None have sold the last 3 months that I could find. And the asking prices for something like this are pretty reasonable, considering you can get this for cover price. Look, $4 copy right there. And then it goes up to like 15 bucks. So it's not that expensive. All of that's well underneath the 1 in 20 ratio, and something you might be able to find again in a box just out there, because it doesn't command that much of a premium, despite it being a 1 in 20. Much like here's another 1 in 20, another Cap cover for issue 18 this time. A lot of these Captain America variants, they don't sell very often, as we have here. Case in point, no sales over the last 3 months. And then even the asking prices are pretty reasonable, $15 to $20 for this 1 in 20. You could probably find it for even cheaper, or make an offer. Even though these don't have offers, they're probably like best offer ones that you can find out there too, and get it for even less. You don't care for those? Well, I got another 1 in 15 for you. This one is part of the Stop Bullying campaign that Marvel did. They did like half a dozen of these covers. I might do these as a short one day. But the Stomp Out Bullying covers were all 1 in 15s from a few years ago. This is for Cap 25. This is actually the issue where Sam Wilson takes on the mantle, I believe. I think it's the same issue. And this is just one of those covers. It's an incentive, but people ignore it because it doesn't have Falcon on it, or doesn't have Sam on it. And it's a weird theme. Granted, it only goes for right around that ratio. Look, 15 bucks up to $20. And that $20 sale is for a CGC copy. I can't see the grade on that one, but it looks like it might actually be a 9.8 for only $20.50. Yeah. Yeah, 9.8 for only 20 bucks. So not too expensive. Asking prices, meanwhile, for something like this, 10 bucks, 13 bucks, up to 20. It's a 1 in 15. It's not a very high ratio incentive. I've come across this thing a few times. I think I have seen it in the $5 variant boxes, and it's just not my thing. I didn't really care for the Stomp Out Blinging campaign, so I didn't scoop it up, but I remember seeing it out there. Meanwhile, another 1 in 15 to talk about here for the same book is the Hasbro cover for Captain America 25. And you get that classic, Cosmic Cube. You got the Red Skull there, but these are toys. Look, it's action figure inside there. So a bit of mix of art and toys making out this cover. Pretty fun. This one, I think, is a little more desirable than the other, but not by much. I mean, look, a 9.6 for this 1 in 15 sold for only $54. And then it looks like a 9.8 sold for 30 bucks. That's grading costs. It costs you 30 bucks to grade a book these days when you got to factor in shipping and all that stuff, fees, etc. So, man, only 30 bucks for a 9.8, 1 in 15. Asking prices, however, 9.8's looking for 125. That makes more sense. Raw copies 20 to 30. Also, a little above ratio, but there are copies that can go for cheaper than that. And again, I'm not telling you to look online. I'm telling you to look at your shops. Look at what's near you. All stores are not created equal. What may be at my shop may not be at your shop, etc. Vice versa. Things that I can't find, you might be able to find. And if I can tell you about them so you know what you're looking for, I'm happy to help. And hopefully you do find this. And hopefully you find some of this stuff for cheap. If you do, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Those are the variants I got for you today. I thought I would do another Uncanny Avengers one that was like another 1 in 20 that's frequently found out there for like $5. I think it's issue 4 of Uncanny Avengers. I can't remember. It's got a Cap on the cover. Thought about doing it, but I cut it off. Later printings, however, we do have some Captain America later printings that we could talk about here that, fetch you a couple extra bucks if you can find them in those back issue bins. This first one got hot for a little while. For a little while, everybody was looking for this. The Daughters of Liberty. Captain America 7. Everybody wanted this book. This was hitting like 40, 50 bucks. Yeah, this was getting ridiculous. A second print. Even the regular Captain America 7 with their first appearance inside was getting hot. And that was like 20 bucks or so. Now it's kind of forgotten about. So not surprisingly, this second print you can see being sold for like 10 bucks or $4.20 $4.25 for a 9.6. $4.25 with 4 bids for a 9.6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the downslope of that spec cycle. But who knows? It may come back around again. So all we need is somebody to start talking this up, or some rumor that they're going to be adapting these characters into some sort of show or film or something, and prices will start to spike again. That said, go look now for cheap. $100. Raw copies, still $10 to $13 these days. I know you guys probably remember this one. This one was expensive for a little bit there. About $10 now. Still ain't nothing to ignore. So if you find it for cheap, I'd still consider about picking it up and stashing it for a bit. You never know. That said, a couple of more seconds. This is that Captain America 25 that I talked about, those other variants of the Stomp Out Bullying and the Hasbro Red Skull one. This is the second print for that same issue. Pretty much just a recolored version of one of the regular covers for this title, where you had the Who's the New Captain America? And again, I spoiled it. It's with Sam Wilson. But here's the second print for it. You know, people like to sometimes throw extra money at second prints. I like collecting them too. I do. But I also am very cognizant of the fact that these are reprints. Call them what you like. They're still reprints, and I don't really consider them firsts exactly because they're reprints, but I still like to collect them when I can find them. This one in particular, $20, $35 for graded copies. That's a 9.2 and a 9.4. And then it looks like there was a raw that sold for $45. So the raw sold for more than those graded copies. Granted, those weren't 9.8s. Those are 9.2 and a 9.4, but still. Asking prices, 9.4 looking for $150. A raw asking $95. A 9.8 looking for $1,000 on this book. Just, it's a second print, okay? But just saying, I'm not telling you to buy at these prices. I'm telling you, hopefully you find this at a shop for cheap, and you could sell at these prices to somebody else who's willing to pay these prices, because it's a bit ludicrous to me. But that's why I'm telling you. This is what the market is asking for, and there's what the market's actually selling for. So hopefully you find yourself a book that is a happy, bump for you in some way. Another second print to keep an eye out for are those lenticular covers. Again, I've talked about these a few times. A lot of them are really cool because the second prints are basically just the stripped art form. So no lenticular here. So you just get the homage of the cover that shifts on the lenticular to the original. So here we have an Alex Ross, basically kind of redoing that Iron Man. Was it 106 with all the little bits of him putting his armor together, but done for Cap. So this is Cap 695. Went back to the legacy numbering here just because 700 was coming. So they go back to legacy numbering so they can sell you a premium issue 700. We get the same thing going on this week because we had 750. I don't even know what the regular issue of Cap was going at, but we got 750 this week. Just out of nowhere. That said, this book here, sold for like $25 not that long ago. That was end of May. So a little over a month ago. $25 raw for this second print. Asking prices $30, $36. So it's right around that $30 mark for this second print, if you can find them. I'm telling you, a lot of these lenticular second prints have that same value. And I like them because they are, I like them homages. And you take that lenticular off of them and you can just appreciate the new homage art. I like it. So I do like finding these when I can. One more. We're actually going to mix Miles in here. So we're going to go to Miles Morales Spider-Man number 2 because Cap gets starred. So we get Cap on that second print. Yeah, it's not Cap's title, but we're focusing on Cap. He's focused in on this cover, so it counts. This thing, second print, sells for best offer on $30. They accepted $25. Not too bad for a second print. Again, these are things I'm hoping you can find for cover, less, or just not much, just in a back issue bin. Asking prices, $28 to $35. That's what I'm telling you. These are some of those weird things that you can sell and get you a little bit of a premium that hopefully you can go and dig out for cheap. And that's the last leader printing that I got for you. That's Cap focused. But we're not done. And we're not done talking about Cap. I make the claim, or not the claim, I make the statement a lot of times that second print, third prints, they're just reprints. And they are, in a way. I get it. This printing is different. But straight up reprints are a whole nother ball game. So these are other things that can also do well for you if you know the right ones to look for. Not all reprints are valuable. Sometimes it's only a few, or a random reason, or a random example. But these JCPenney ones, yeah, are kind of interesting. And there are a few JCPenney reprints that focus in on Captain America. Case in point, back in 1994, JCPenney had a reprint for Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos number 13. Classic cover image. I don't even have to show you the original because it's basically like almost a facsimile type cover. Like it's basically the same cover, but done in 1994. This thing does all right. Sure, a copy might only sell for $1.25 at auction because nobody's looking for it. That's why I say never auction these things. But then another auction ended at $13, and then a best offer on 55, they accepted 25. Now, I know that's not a ton of money, but this is the type of book that you might be able to find in a cheap box, even a dollar box, and then be like, "Oh, what did I score?" You scored something that might be 25 bucks or more. Look at the asking prices for this book. $34, and that is for a little bit of a banged up copy. $80 raw, $127.12. Yes, it's out of the UK. That's why the number's weird because of the currency conversion. But still, case in point, over $100. Easy. Yeah, not saying that that's what it's worth, just saying that's what the asking prices are, and maybe you find one. Maybe you find one, hopefully for much less than that. Another JCPenney reprint to look for. 109, The Origin of Captain America. Classic coverage, jumping out at you from the newspaper. Classic image, definitely worthy of a reprint. This thing might only be, $10 to $13. You can see there, recent sales. Asking prices, only found one, I think, right now. It's like 23 bucks. So again, it's not a ton, but that ain't bad for something that, again, it's a reprint. So you might be able to find this out there for pretty cheap. It's a JCPenney book after all. Here we go. In 1980, JCPenney also reprinted Captain America 241. You got Punisher showing up. Look at them doing this little Captain Morgan pose. Classic Cap, classic Punisher. This might fetch you, $10 to $25 raw. Or look, that 9.6 sold for $300. If you can find a nice high grade copy, you might make out there too. Raw copies, however, anywhere from like $20 to $30, $50 are the asking prices. So once again, not saying that's what it's worth or just, you should pay these prices. I'm just letting you know these prices. So in case you find it in a box and it's like, hey, look at this reprint. It's only $5. All right. You make that call. Is it worth it to you? $5, something that might be like 20. Granted, it might only be like 11, like that other person, but that's the chance you take. Market goes up and down. Last reprint I got for you. This is actually an X-Men one, but I love this Jim Lee cover. Big fan of it. Uncanny 268. There is a JCPenney reprint. I'm going to show you the regular edition of this because there is a way to tell by looking at this cover if it's the second print or the first print. On this one, a second print, which the JCPenney is, it's a reprint. This JCPenney reprint has the Spider-Man 30th anniversary down below in the corner box, whereas the first print of this book, I believe it's just the Spidey head. Yes, so the Spidey head would be on your original. 30th anniversary will be on your JCPenney reprint. Just a quick way to kind of tell. $325 for a 9.8 of this book, and $35 raw. Not too bad either way. I just like this cover. I'm a Jim Lee homer, so I'm a fan. Like this, Black Widow, Wolverine, Cap together. Classic image to me. There is a a Signature Series 7.0 out there that looking for $900, but it's got like I think Stan Lee and Claremont. It's got SIGs on it, but that's it. Like that's the only one that's out there right now. So might take you a little while to go shopping to find one, but there you go. Go dig in a box. Look for that 30th anniversary Spidey, and then you found that edition. The regular edition's worth a few bucks too, so don't ignore that one. Just because you don't see the reprint. It's just this reprint seems to be a little bit harder to find, so it has that little niche collecting corner that will pay you a little bit of a premium over the regular first print. Just worth knowing, right? Last section for you for today. I got to wrap this up. I had a hell of a long day. Watch the tax show, and I'll run down my Monday for you because, I'm trying to get this done so I can get this out tonight. But, man, I am beat. This is a heck of a day. Sold a car. We had tree guys. We had air conditioner guys. We had the bug guy. A lot of stuff going on today. But right now, we're talking about oddities. So oddities related to Captain America for our 4th of July. these are some oddball little books that I think are worth knowing about and just fun things to go and hunt. If not collect, if you want to collect these oddball things. First one being Captain America Goes to War Against Drugs. They made this book in concert with the FBI. Multiple versions of this book. They have like store versions here. Look, Pioneer, Gitano Venture. I don't even know where that is. The Guardian, which I think is a newspaper. Multiple versions of this published and produced, out there for Captain America's War Against Drugs. Like I said, there's like a dozen different variations on this book. Would be a fun collection to try to go and hunt. I'd say get any of them. Just get any of them because it's just a weird enough thing that maybe it'll get you a couple of bucks. I couldn't find any that sold within the last 3 months, however, any version of it. But some examples of some that are available. Look, it's still not that expensive. There's one that's $5 for a promotional one, and that's even still $9.294. They're estimating. There's another. It's a promo book, so it is technically free, but $5, $13, $9, and that one they're calling a second print. I guess they did a reprint of this. There was a second print. But like I said, grab any of them. This is the kind of thing I'm telling you, dollar bin digging. You're going to maybe find this in a dollar box. And I think it's just a fun little thing. Because Cap doesn't only go to war against drugs here in promotional comics. He's also going up against... sorry. Before we jump up to the next one, there was a sequel. So part 2. We get an issue 2 of Captain America's continue the war against drugs here. Another one done with the FBI, I guess, for a drug-free America. This one I found actually did have a sale for only about $5, but I couldn't find any available. But what I was trying to get to, I jumped the gun a little bit, is that apart from his war against drugs, Captain America also meets the asthma monster. So he's also fighting some health afflictions of our youth. And not only youth, but these are still targeted towards kids. But he meets the asthma monster. I can't make this stuff up. Compliments of your physician and Glaxo Incorporated. So, I guess funded by inhaler sales, this book could sell for about $10. There's a couple sales right there. Sold for about $10. Asking prices as cheap as $1.50, $11, $18 for the 1988 first meeting of Cap and the asthma monster. But we're not done there. Just like the war against drugs, there's a round 2. And Cap goes up against this asthma monster once again. The return of the asthma monster. This time, compliments of your physician and Allen and Hanberries. I don't know who they are, who that is. But still, weird book, right? I mean, again, I can't make this stuff up. This one, however, sold for $5 to $15. There's 2 sales right there. Asking prices, $10, $45, $70. That one's misnumbered. It says in the issue 1, but that's obviously, you can see the picture, it's issue 2. Well, I guess they don't get it. I mean, I guess it is technically still issue 1, but this is the return, not meets. So I guess that's the criteria there we have. So regardless, this is the second issue in the series of Asthma Monster books, as this one came out in 1989. And yeah, just look for any of these things. They're just silly enough to be collectible, at least to me. This is the fun stuff I love digging out of the dollar boxes, like the Marvel puzzle book, those like Radio Shack things, or the Whiz Kids, and some like Electric Company type stuff. Just weird, oddball promotional comics. To me, it's gold. You can't put a price on it. I'm just happy to find that weird stuff and just throw them in my collection and just have them. That said, that's all I got for you this week based off of Captain America. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for stopping by and checking this out. Make sure you have a safe and happy 4th of July. Spend some time with friends and family if you can. And yeah, I'm still going to get you a Chasing Ghost tomorrow, which might also be focused on the holiday. But it is, 4th of July, and I will try to get, like I said, I'll still try to get a Chasing Ghost out tomorrow. But I haven't filmed it yet, so hopefully I can catch up, rest up the rest of tonight, watch some Monday Night Raw, and get some of my energy back. It's like I'm telling you. I'll run it down for you on Wednesday on the Tack Show, but I had a hell of a day today. But I still managed to film, edit, and get 2 shows out to you. So those who think that I'm not the hardest working man in this game, I'm right here. Come at me. Tell me how you put in more work than me. And with that all said, I'll see you guys later with some more content. All right, later.